Hello everyone and welcome to the Eagle Ace Show. I'm your host, Alexander Pressman. It's been a minute. I didn't stream last week, but we are back. We are back today. And it's gonna be a good stream because I actually put some thought into this stream. You know, most of the time, I got hair on myself. Ugh. Most of the time, like I just click stream. And you know, we ball, and that's why last stream was just so horrible. I think I talked for maybe 20 minutes, and I got on Minecraft. But no, today we're talking. Our featured story is on Sneako, this little brown clown, skinny twink that is honestly just making a fool of himself in NYC and on Twitter. Dude, my cat. That's hair from my cat. And also just Muslims in general in Western civilization and why we can just not. There is no place for Muslims in America. There's no place for Muslims. All right. I know we have freedom of religion in our Constitution, but it's like it's just not working. It's not working, and it hasn't been working for a long time. Yo, hold on, bro. My Palantir is trying to track me. I must have said something to piss him off. This new camera has like AI tracking on it, and it for some reason just turned on. Even though I turn it off every single time, it still turns on. Stop blinking at me. Stop blinking. But yeah, we're gonna get into that. Let me just fix the camera real quick. There we go. Hopefully that does not happen again. But yeah. Got me my coffee. But anyways, before we get into that, I actually want to talk about the World Cup a bit before we get into our featured story tonight, because I have some things to say. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen the Argentina controversy. Dude, Dude, this hair. I still don't see it. Like, it's... This is just being a great start. I swear, every time I stream, just something manages to happen. But yeah, I want to talk about the World Cup some. But before we get into that, we got some merch coming on eagleace.store. Make sure to check out the store. It's got links to all of our socials. I'm gonna kill this camera. It's like, it's not even on. It's not even on. I turned off AI tracking and it's still doing it. When I bought this camera, I thought, oh, maybe that would be cool. I think it's because I'm turning in my seat. It still shouldn't turn on whatsoever. I was like, yeah, no, maybe that would be cool, you know, having a camera with AI tracking. I don't know why I thought that. Because the camera quality is great, but it's been a nuisance. But yeah, you can find me on all socials: YouTube, X, Rumble. Rumble's the only social that I have a different at. Rumble is The Eagle Ace. YouTube, we are at Real Eagle Ace. X at Real Eagle Ace. And you can find me on Instagram at Eagle_Ace2, because someone already had Eagle_Ace when I made that account. So, and also, of course, we got the Eagle Ace Faith and Strength Journal, 140-page guided hardcover journal to guide you through your Christian walk. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. This World Cup, so it's the first World Cup that I've actually paid attention to and watched, because in 2022 I was just starting to get into soccer again, and I watched maybe 2 games. I remember watching one at school in I think it was my geometry class. Yeah, because I took geometry in 8th grade. And then also, the World Cup final, but I barely even watched the final. which sucked because, I mean, that was a really good game and I wish I watched that live. But I didn't. But I've been watching this one. And, well, you know, all my fun is just gone for this tournament because all my teams are out. Every single team. I had 4 teams. All right, America, you know, I'm American. I got to root for my home country. Was born here, was raised here, you know, so we got to root for America. They lose 4-1 to Belgium. I'm just like, dang, 4-1? And what really pissed me off was how much the commentators were hyping up America. I mean, they got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who say, can America win the World Cup? I remember this woman asked him, can America do it this year? Can America win the World Cup? Bro, I turned you off. I'm going to have to keep you AI tracking off. I'm keeping you open. Because every time I unclose the tab, they got Zlatan Ibrahimovic to say, can America win the World Cup? He's like, yes. Yes, they can. I tell you, it was like industry plants in that commentating box. Because why are we hyping up America so much and then we lose 4-1 to Belgium? We did not play that great of teams. We had a relatively easy group. We had Turkey, Australia, and what was the other team? I'm fainting on my recollection here. But we had a relatively easy group. But everyone's hyping America. I mean, I was hyped too. I must say I was hyped. I was hyped for America. I did not, bro. Is it like my hand signals or something? Yo, TS is crazy. Anyways, you know, we had that going, and then we make it to the round of 32, and we had a good performance against Bosnia and Herzegovina. But I mean, it's Bosnia and Herzegovina. We still haven't played like a competitive team. Turkey was trash that World Cup. I mean, they were just horrible. So we hadn't played a competitive team. And dude, I'm at work. I was like, dude, I was so hyped for this Belgium game. I was like, dude, my coworkers, you know, I was only talking about it with one other guy at work because, for one, I work with a lot of women. These women don't care about the World Cup. And then two, I also work, you know, I just didn't have anyone around that really cared about the World Cup, which is crazy. I'm like, it's America playing tonight. Like, even if you don't understand soccer, you still got to support them. I'm gonna crash out, bro. You still got to support them. But you know, I'm getting hyped up. I'm ready to see America win. And then like it's like the first 10 minutes of the game and we concede. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro. And my guy, this guy's an American, right? He's got some Mexican heritage. But he's like, yeah, see, I told you Belgium was gonna win. I'm like, bro, piss off. Okay, it's 1-0. All right, game's not done yet. We still got like 80 minutes to play. And then it's like 23 minutes later. I think it was like the 34th minute. And we get a free kick. And I see Malik Tillman over. Wait, was it Tillman? Yeah, I think it was Tillman. And I'm like, okay, if anyone's going to score this free kick. I mean, I just watched them score a free kick live against Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was a lucky free kick, you know. But he can do it. He can do it. And then I watch him score it. And I scream so loud. Like, I scream so loud. One of my employees, you know, one of my coworkers like, man, that don't piss me off. Like, it's like, woman, what are you talking about? This is the World Cup and we just tied against Belgium. How are you not screaming? I screamed, like, I tell you, the customers heard me and everything. My manager got mad at me, but it was worth it. It was worth it for about 1 minute. Until I'm still like going crazy. And I look at my phone. and I see Belgium celebrating. We couldn't even last 1 minute against them. They instantly equalized. I'm like, okay, bro. Not even equalized. They instantly went up. I was like, okay, well, game's gone. And then it's like 3-1. And it was just all mistakes from our backline, bro. It was the worst game America had ever played, bro. We played better with our B team against Turkey. It's crazy. I guess the pressure just got to them, which really sucks because I really wanted to see America in a quarterfinal. That would have been cool. We probably would have lost the next match because we would have been playing Spain. But yeah, and I had 3 other teams. I had South Korea because I'm a big Heung-min Son fan. I like Son. Loved him at Tottenham. Now he's kind of washed. I mean, he hasn't scored a goal in a while. He hasn't scored a goal in a while. But I was watching it, and I was wanting to see a Heung-min Son goal. Nah, those games were honestly really boring. I mean, they drew 2 other games. They only won 1 game. Wait, no, they lost 1 game. Yeah, they lost 1 game. So that sucked, you know. That sucked because they went out in the group stage, and I'm like, well, that's another team gone. I mean, that was my first team to go. Then round of 32 comes, and I was watching Japan in the group stage. I was like, dude, Japan is honestly really good, and they are a good team. But they got really unlucky with their round of 32 pick. They had to face Brazil in the round of 32. And I see them go 1-0 up. I think I was reading my Bible while I was watching the game. And I see them go 1-0 up, and I was like, yes, finally. One of my teams is actually doing well. They lose 2-1. I was like, well, that sucks. But, you know, I still got Portugal and America. I already talked about America. But out of all the teams I wanted to win, I wanted to see Portugal win. Because I've always been a Ronaldo fan. Ever since I got into soccer, I've been a Ronaldo fan. And honestly, I'm not quite sure why. I think it's always just been like his work ethic and his skill moves. I think that's why I've been a Ronaldo fan. Like, I like Messi. I think Messi's a great player. I'm not one of these brain dead, retarded Ronaldo, you know, lovers that, no, Messi can't do anything right. Messi's not this. Messi's other. Does Messi have abs? Like, bro. I love both players. I just like Ronaldo better. You know? But that's how it, you know, I watched Portugal play Croatia, and bro, I was like, I went crazy for all Portugal games. But what set me off about Portugal was like, they had to concede a goal to switch on. To switch on. And yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, what are we doing? Croatia scores. And I mean, like, yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for the technology in the ball, like, I think that goal that Croatia got called out, it would have been a goal. By sure, because I'm not looking at that and saying, oh, that's offsides. I don't know if it touched his head or not. You know, I don't know that. But yeah, no, it was crazy. But Portugal went through, and then we had to play Spain. And I was hopeful. I was hopeful because we beat Spain in the Nations League final. We did it, and Cristiano scored in the Nations League final. We did not beat Spain. I don't know why we didn't start Leal. Like, Leal and Nuno Mendes were like the only 2 players out there that I really saw like want it bad. We had such a stacked midfield, and that's why everyone was saying, yeah, Portugal is definitely one of the favorites to win because they have like the best midfield of any team. And I would agree. You got Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, and it's not Ruben Neves. There's one other. But especially Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes. And then your midfield is so good, you got Bernardo Silva coming off the bench. But no, they just didn't do it. And bro, it sucked. I had to watch Ronaldo cry again. I never watched the Portugal-Morocco game. So I never actually had to experience that. But dude, bro, the cameraman in those, after that game ended, dude, they're just glazing Ronaldo. The camera's just only pointed on Ronaldo, and they're like, yeah, dude, this is a hard day for Ronaldo. You know, he's getting emotional. It's like, no dip, he's getting emotional. This is his last World Cup. It's his last World Cup. But yeah, no. And then there's been some other stuff with the World Cup. I think Argentina's gotten really lucky with their calls. I'm not going to sit here and say that FIFA is favoring Argentina. But like, they have gotten really lucky with some of their calls. But you know, they are a good team. They are a good team. I mean, they got Messi on their team. They got other players. I say other players because I really don't know many Argentinian players. Like I know like one. I know like two other Argentinian players, Paulo Dybala and like Di Maria. Everyone else, but I don't even think either one of them. I'm pretty sure Di Maria is retired. Anyways, so okay, yeah, it's something with my hands, bro. It's like, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it knows sign language, which would be weird because I don't know sign language. But yeah, that's the World Cup. And then, I mean, like, after all those teams got eliminated, bro, it was like, I mean, I guess I haven't watched a game since Portugal and Spain. I haven't watched a game since then. If there was any team that I wanted to win after that, I was like, well, I'll let Norway win. You know, like, Norwegians, come on, bro. They're Norwegians. We get a bunch of Scandinavians, and they come in here and they just wipe the floor. You know, they win a World Cup, but they got eliminated to England today. And I'm not going to sit here and root for England. I'm American, bro. That'd be like blasphemy. That'd be blasphemy against America. I'm not going to sit here and root for England. So now it's like, well, I guess I want France to win, you know? Because, I mean, Mbappe plays for my team. He plays for Real Madrid. But then again, like, the France players aren't even French. They're just a bunch of Africans. They have, like, French citizenship. Or they somehow get to play for the French national team. I really think, like, the requirements to play for a national team, I mean, I really don't know it. But I think it's kind of confusing. I think it should just be like, for one, either if you're going to play for this national team, you have to be a citizen of that country. You have to live in that country. You know? But that's just me. That's just me. I mean, citizenship doesn't really mean much. But, you know, I just think, you know, I would expect if it was the French national team that some of them would actually look like they're from France and not from the Sahara Desert. But I guess that's a hot take. Anyways, we're going to get into our featured story about Sneako. And, dude, I'm like, bro, these brown clowns have got to stop. All right? It is something with my hand. I don't know what it is. with my hand. But like, bro, these brown Muslims, brown people in general, it's like, you guys have got to just actually shut up, bro. I cannot get this camera. Like, please, be quiet, all right? Because, look, I'm not a Mossad agent because I don't like Muslims, all right? That doesn't make me a Mossad agent. I'm not a Mossad agent because I support ICE deportations, all right? Like, let me be, all right, bro, like, what is going on? Like, it's really just so brain dead with, ever since, like, anti-Israel became the new, like, hip thing across, like, Gen Z. Like, for one, the left has been doing this thing of, well, if you know, like Hassan Piker, which, I mean, that guy just needs to be deported, bro. Like, please, deport him. He does not care about America. He does not love America. He hates Americans. He's a Turkish idiot. He's a Turkish idiot. But the left has been doing this thing of, well, if you don't support what we do, you know, if you don't support us, then you're a... They stopped doing this thing of, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi. Oh, you just support Israel. Because now it's bad to support Israel. And I mean, look, I don't support Israel, but I don't support Israel because I'm America first. I don't support Israel because I don't believe in genocide. That's why I don't support Israel. I don't support Israel because of that. I don't support Israel because my country is not sovereign. A foreign country is sending American sons and daughters to go fight a war that no one wanted except for Jews. That's why I'm anti-Israel. Okay? I despise the influence Israel has, and I despise the influence that a lot of Jews have over America. That's why I'm anti-Israel. That's why I'm anti-Zionist. I'm not a Christian Zionist, okay? I'm a Christian. So when you start your pride parades, and mind you, like, Israel is one of the gayest countries on earth. Like, I'm being serious. You go to Tel Aviv during June, look at the pride parades there. You think New York is bad? Go to Tel Aviv. You know, and it's actually disgusting. And I mean, you know, you look at so Jews have just been a big responsibility for, just been really responsible for a lot of sexual perversion over the years. Islam too, Muslims too. I mean, like, they have a weird kink about pedophilia. They really try and you know, cover up pedophilia, justify pedophilia. Oh, if she looks mature, then it's okay. What? So if a 13, 14-year-old looks mature, oh, you can have sex with her? Like, come on, bro. Come on. And these Muslims hate it. But no, let me get back. Like, the left has been doing this tactic, though, to try and pull people that have been, like, in the middle. That, oh, well, I don't know if I'm really right-wing or left-wing or whatever, you know. But they're like, well, do you support Israel? Well, no, I don't support Israel. Well, then we don't support Israel too. Join us. Come join us. And it's like, no, I cannot support Muslims and Israel. Okay? How about that? I cannot support the left. I cannot support Muslims. I cannot support gays. I cannot support the whole bunch and still be anti-Israel. All right? I can still do that and not be a Mossad agent. So no. I'm America first, all right? Look, if Israel was doing something to help America first, I would be pro-Israel. I'd be pro-Israel all day. Okay? And frankly, why do I care about the Iranian war? Do I care about the Iranian war because people are dying? I mean, sure, that's on my conscience, but you know why I care about the Iranian war? Because I'm having to pay more money to get my gas. Americans are dying. All right? I care about what goes on in America. And whether foreign countries have influence over America. I don't want any foreign country to have any influence over America. So, I'm actually gonna smash my PC. So no, I don't. That is why I'm anti-Israel. That is why I'm anti-Iranian war. I'm not a neoconservative, okay? I don't think we should go around and just, invade the Middle East, colonize the Middle East, civilize the Middle East. Because we have just seen that has not worked out whatsoever. I mean, all these wars in the Middle East has just backfired on us. It's cost us way too much money. But no. So, I mean, you got to be careful when you're dealing with these people. Do not get entangled in this thing of if you're anti-Israel, then you have to support everything the left does. All right? That's just not true. Okay, we can have borders. We can hold Christian and conservative values without being pro-Israel, okay? They're not synonymous, all right? I don't have to be a Zionist to be a conservative, all right? But yeah, no, Sneako is this gay Muslim, bro. I mean, I saw like a really gay picture of Sneako. He's like in a short top. I don't know where it was from. I don't know if Sneako used to be a model, but dude, that's a little weird. That's a little damning. I also saw this clip of Andrew Tate saying Sneako tried to have sex with him. It's like, bro, what is going on, bro? And like, don't get me wrong. Back in the day when Andrew Tate was popular, I mean, Andrew Tate, I've got to be honest, was like one of the first guys that honestly red-pilled me. He was this ultra masculine man. And I know that some of the stuff with Andrew Tate is really questionable, and I obviously condemn that. But like, he was this guy that was like, fuck women, he's got like a bunch of different women. He's, hypergamy, it's like, okay, yeah, you're cool, you're based, But so he was one of the first guys to red pill me. So when I saw that, I was like, dude, that's crazy. But I honestly wouldn't put that past him because, like, bro, Sneako, when Andrew Tate was big, I mean, it was both like Sneako and Aiden Ross. They were just like vying for Andrew Tate's attention, bro. And he's just absolutely mogging them. But yeah, we're gonna pull up some clips here. Because I mean, Sneako is just crazy. And then we're gonna get into like what this means. Yeah, it's definitely the hand signals. I don't know how to stop this. Next time I'm either going to get a refund on this camera if I can't figure out how to get it to stop, or I'm gonna like break the camera. I don't know. But yeah, so let's pull up Twitter here. Cause I got some. Let me get my headphones on. Gotta hear the audio. We'll go big headphones. Let's see here. That's not what we want to see. There we go. Let me fix the camera here. All right, so yeah, Sneako posts Islamic Republic of Ameristan. This is New York, by the way. He posts Islamic Republic of Ameristan. Inshallah. He says, Inshallah, your household hears the call of prayer blaring through that window 5 times a day. Okay, Sneako. New York is, I mean, one of the biggest like Muslim ethnic I guess it's not an ethnic enclave, though. I mean, you look at most Muslim people, they're usually brown Arabs. But there's like, I think it's like 700,000. If it's not 700,000, I believe it's 700,000. And then New York has the highest Muslim population in the country, followed closely by California and some other northern states. And I went to New York actually. I'll talk about New York here for just a sec. I went to New York a couple weeks ago. I didn't post it. I didn't post on YouTube about my trip on New York, and honestly, I should. Because I saw some crazy things in New York. Okay, the camera needs to go this way. I'm sorry, half of the stream has been me adjusting the camera. But, yeah, I went to New York. And it was like I was in a completely different country. Because I live in South Carolina. Alright, I'm in South Carolina. I live in the deep south. And you pretty much either just see, it's mainly whites and blacks. I mean, you know, the South has the most black people in the country. Alright, so that's who you usually see, is whites or blacks. But I went up to New York for a day. We stayed in Pennsylvania. And I went up there. What is that? Oh, dang, Argentina are 1-0 up against Switzerland. Anyways, I went up to New York, and yeah, it was like being in a completely different country. I saw a lot of Jews, but I didn't see as many Jews as I did Muslims. There were some funny stuff up there in New York. I remember seeing like a Jewish sign. It was like this old, really bearded Jewish rabbi man. And it was like, I think it was in Hebrew, and then it was also in English. And it's like the Messiah has arrived. It's like, yeah, y'all are like 2,000 years late, bro. 2,000 years late. All right, he arrived quite some time later. But I know you guys, you know, put him on a stake, and then you wrote in the Talmud how he was a necromancer, and you know he was an evil person, and how he's burning in hell. But yeah, you know, that was funny. But I saw, dude, it was just like a culture shock, because I saw like, oh, halal, you know, halal food here, and there were so many stands halal food. I saw a lot of Muslims. I saw a lot of Muslims, Asians. Those were the main two. I'd never seen so many Asians in my life. Don't get me wrong. I like Asians. I think Asians are, you know, a lot better than some other races, because they don't, you know, you look at statistics and they commit crimes at a way lower rate. I think they commit less crimes than white people. So, you know, that's cool. That's cool. And I love my Asian friends. I have friends of every race, by the way. For anyone watching that thinks, oh, he's just an evil, angry, you know, like white kid. It's like, no, I just like, I have friends of about every single race. Mexican, black, Asian, white. All right. And so I know what people are like. And the black friends I have, like, don't get me wrong, they're great. All right. But what's funny about the black friends I have is that their parents tell them, and they're like, no, don't be like the black kids in America. Because their parents, you know, they're like first generation. Bro. They're all like Nigerian or whatever. So, yeah, it's real funny. But no, I just look at the world and I just see what I see. All right? Like, I wouldn't have my views on black people if black people didn't commit most of the crimes in America. You know, I was telling my pastor this. It was like, if black people just acted better and stopped killing people, and if Muslims acted better, you know, and Arabs and brown people, I would be glad to see them. I'd be like, oh, I don't have to look over my shoulder. There's a black person around. That's how I feel around white and Asian people. I don't have to worry about getting robbed by a white guy. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but it's like, it's a lot lower chance, you know? So no, I'm not just some hateful. I just look at reality. I look at the facts. I look at statistics, and I see, okay, yeah, this is how people are, and some people just, shouldn't be. There needs to be less people of this group in this country. Like something that is just really a big lie that we've all been told about America is this notion of the big melting pot. Sure, yeah, America was a diverse country. It always has been. But for most of its history, it was diverse among Europeans. It was a diverse European country. And if you think I'm wrong, just look it up. All right, look up George Washington. Look up George Washington, look up Abraham Lincoln, all right? Two wonderful presidents, and learn more about the founding fathers. You know what George Washington wanted to happen to his slaves after he died? He wanted them to get sent back to Africa. You know what Abraham Lincoln wanted for Africans, for slaves in America? He wanted to free them so he could deport them back to Africa. I'm forgetting the name, but there's ritually there's a country that was formed because of that. So yeah, you don't realize, and they don't tell you this stuff in school because it would disrupt the narrative. Okay. And I mean, honestly, I wish there was never slavery in America, because, I wouldn't have to live around so many black people, But I would rather live next to a black person than a Muslim. I just really there is no more need for a while, Christians and Muslims, there was kind of an alliance, Oh my. You know what, bro? We're just gonna ball. I'm tired of messing with it. We're just gonna ball. All right, you're gonna see. It's gonna look weird. We're just gonna deal with it. Now it turned off by itself. But for some time there was almost like an alliance between Muslims and Americans, or like Muslims and Christians. Because, and there was this alliance because America was deeply brainwashed about Israel. So Muslims were helping us, get the message out about Israel. But now that everyone knows about Israel, we don't need you anymore. Now it's our turn, okay? Y'all love to do this thing of subverting us. And once you have enough Muslims in a country, you rise up and you band together and you take off, you take out the majority group and you make everyone, Muslim. Well, now it's our turn. It's our turn, all right? We don't need you, all right? I don't want you in my country, okay? We don't need you here, all right? Inshallah, every household will be Muslim. Fuck you. Honestly, genuinely just fuck you, all right? I would rather die than be Muslim. I would rather die, okay? I'd rather die than be with the religion that your final prophet of God married a 9-year-old, and waited till, she was deemed of age by Islam to have sex with her, which I believe was 9 years old. Her name was Aisha. I would rather die than be in the religion where Muslims, it's in the Middle East or somewhere. I saw this story. I was reading this story today, and they're telling this local shepherd, because yes, Americans, people still do take care of cattle and sheep. I know you don't see it. But telling this local shepherd, hey, hide your goats away, put some clothing on your goats or whatever, because we can't contain ourselves. We're gonna fuck the goats. We're gonna screw the goats. Oh my gosh, the goats, they just look, the goats, they're just so sexy. I just want to fuck that goat. It's like, bro, you're all a bunch of barbarians. You're brown clowns. Please, please. That's why I would rather die than be Muslim. Okay? You're crazy, okay? You're crazy. You know? Like, that's why it's like, no, I'm not your friend, alright? I've had people, dude. I've had people say to me, dude, what? That's not Christian. That's not nice. Is it Christian for me to just let people walk over me? For Muslims to subvert my religion? To let Muslims kill Christians in Nigeria and Africa? And just say, oh, turn the other cheek. Like, no, it's not. All right. Jesus would not have let such things happen. People get this notion about Jesus that he was a super peaceful guy. He was a pacifist. Like, yes, he says, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. But Jesus, when he sees that, these Jewish elders, these rabbis are turning the holy temple into a place of commerce and making money, he freaks out. He flips over their tables. He grabs a rope and starts hitting people to kick them out. Like, Jesus is the same guy as Yahweh. All right, they're one. There's three beings in one. All right, Yahweh was the guy that would strike people down. All right, if they didn't follow the 10 Commandments, if they did something perverse. All right, so yeah, actually, I am with Jesus. I am with Christ. And Jesus would not stand for this. There's a reason why Islam came about after Christianity. It was Satan's response to Christianity. All right? Islam is the biggest subversion of Christianity ever, okay? They actively oppose us. They do not like you. If you think that Muslims are your friends, you're fooling yourself. They don't like you. They never will. If you're a Christian or you're a Jew, they hate you. They want you dead. Either you convert to Islam or they kill you. Okay? That has always been their agenda, and it will stay that way. Who was the religion that invaded Europe? It was Islam. Who was the religion that was killing Christians? It was Islam, okay? So, no. I don't like Muslims. I never will like Muslims. I know plenty about Islam, and there's nothing you could say to me about Islam that's going to make me just dump my religion. Unlike an idiot like Sneako, where I believe he was Catholic. He was Catholic, converted to Islam because he said, oh, I cannot stand the wokeness in Islam. I mean, I cannot stand the wokeness in Western society. I need to be a part of something that is conservative and traditional. What is not conservative and traditional about real Christianity? Like, I understand the mega churches and their way of Christianity. Look, I understand that's all ludicrous. I understand that. I don't like that stuff. There's a reason why I don't go to mega churches. I go to small churches, all right? But there's nothing inherently, if you're a real Christian, you are conservative. You actually have morals. You have principles, all right? Muslims take it too far. They don't have morals, okay? They say it's okay to lie to Christians and Jews. You just can't lie to Muslims, So no. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do that will make me ever respect Islam or ever want to be Muslim or ever let, in the future, my children to be Muslim. Like, no. There's just no discourse. Like, these people have no affinity for America. They do not like American values. It Islam does not believe in freedom of religion, freedom to protest, freedom of speech, any of that. If you speak out against Islam in an Islamic country, you're lucky if you're sent to prison. So no, I don't believe in that. They're anti-American and that. So yeah, we got some clips here of Sneako. We're gonna watch and react to these clips, and then yeah, let's So yeah, let's get to it. Here we go. Let me switch this over to Live for Gaming. So yeah, we already saw this. Get the headphones on. But yeah, here we got Sneako. Here we go.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Oh no! Fuck you! This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. Welcome to Mamdani's New York. You see this city? You see how it looks? Inshallah, your city looks just like this too.
Yeah. So, I found a really good clip, and this guy, I think he sums it up perfectly. We'll get to that in a sec. Well, I think this guy sums it up perfectly.
For finally putting the nail in the coffin of the retardation. Thank you, Sneako. Thank you, Sneako, for finally putting the nail in the coffin of the retardation of the Christian-Muslim alliance. I've been calling it out for years now how stupid it is. Finally, thank you, Sneako, for allowing everyone to wake up and say, actually, there is no alliance to be had right now because our goals are the same in terms of we want every knee to bow, every tongue to confess because Christ is Lord, He is true, while you're saying, no, Allah, Inshallah, Allahu Akbar. That Islam will be in every household and every country will become Muslim. So you can't have both exist at the same time. One has to win. It's that matter of if we have this dynamic, it's about who wins. And Christ will win at the end. Muhammad's fake and gay and a pedophile. Thank you, Sneako.
Exactly. And I was hearing this about Muhammad. Something about like he had sex with like he got like some of his like knowledge or whatever by having sex with like it's described as like viral like what like young viral like black guys. He has sex with them or whatever. It's like, yeah, he is a gay pedophile. I don't know much about King Min Lee, but so yeah, it is so retarded, bro. It's so retarded, and I used to be a fan of Sneako, and I'm honestly I'm ashamed to say that. I'm ashamed to say that. But again, that was before like I got red pilled, before I really took my stances, before I was even a Christian. So, yeah. There is no discourse. There is no alliance with Muslims. Like, it doesn't matter what country you live in. There is always a religion that will and always have dominance, okay? For one, all right, and you say, well, in America, it's one way and whatever. We all get along. We do not get along. We do not get along. All right? Either you have Christianity as your main religion, and that's the dominant. You have Islam as your main religion, or you have secularism as your main religion. I mean, that's the main three in the modern day. Is one of those three. And we can see self-evidently which societies perform best. All right, Christianity just performs the best. All right, secularism is easily subverted, okay? It does not last long, and we have seen that in America. America used to be a deeply Christian society, and as soon as it stopped being a deeply Christian society, that's when we got the sexual revolution, transgenderism, feminism, all this stuff. And now we have seen how fucked it has made America. It has screwed America over. And now what are you seeing? Now, in a major American city, one of the largest city of America, New York City used to be the pinnacle of America. People go to America and say, you know where I want to go? I want to go to New York City. Now you have a Muslim ruling New York City, a racist Muslim that taxes people off of their race. You don't believe me on this? I saw this earlier. He favored ethnic enclaves in the state of New York, except for one. Little Italy. Little Italy. Italian people. Why doesn't he do this? Italian are white people, okay? If you're Italian, you're white. So, you have a racist Muslim mayor, and New York has the highest percentage of Muslims in America. And I mean, you got like this national convention of Muslims in New York City. All right? That's why, you know, as much as I liked New York, as I liked the pace and the people there, like I did see some nice people in New York, you know. I would not feel safe there. And we have not only seen this in America, but we see it in the UK and in Canada. All right, all these Western societies that as soon as they abandon Christianity as their main religion, then they choose secularism, and then what happens? Then it goes to Islam. All right, because what they do is they import this mass, all these brown people, all right, and then brown people start to get power and legislative. They start to get favored in not their country, you know, because if you're brown in Britain, it's not your country, you're not British, all right? So they start to get favored, but then they start to have power over British native people. If you look at the mayors of London and major cities in the UK, they're all Muslim. They're all brown Arab Muslims. Canada, same thing. It's the same exact thing. So no, all right. Again, you will always have one religion that will take the stage. I just turned AI tracking off. Please chill out, bro. Gosh. That will take the stage and win in the end. And we have seen that. I see someone typing in chat. Here, we'll move chat up here. I'll make it a bit bigger. So, yeah. You know, I lost my train of thought. The Christian-Muslim alliance has to be gone. We don't need it anymore. It's our turn to take our country back, all right? This country was founded by Christians. It was always intended to be a Christian country. Now look, I know there's freedom of religion, but when this country was formed, this country was supposed to be a country for European Christians to come from, whether you be Catholic, Anglican, Baptist, any of these, Protestant, Eastern Orthodox. You were supposed to be able to come to America and be able to practice your version of Christianity without being discriminated against. The Naturalization Act of 1790, signed by George Washington, was said to be a U.S. citizen, you have to be, and it's defined as good stock white men. But now, I mean, we have citizenship doesn't even matter anymore. Like, just because you're an American citizen does not mean you're American. And the only way you make citizenship matter is that you have to put restrictions on it. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, just becoming an American citizen harder. Well, eventually, you just get to something that boils down to race or religion. Like the British, you had to become a part of the Anglican Church. You had to be Christian to be able to become a British citizen. So, citizenship doesn't make you American whatsoever. If you have not been here for generations, if your family has not contributed to this country, or if you have no history in this country, you are not American, all right? And I've seen a lot about birthright citizenship. Let me make this, explicitly clear. The whole reason why birthright citizenship was instituted was for slaves, okay, that their offspring could be American citizens. It was never supposed to be this thing of, well, I moved to America and then I have kids and now my kids are automatically American and now from now on my family will all be American. And that means I can vote and I can do this. No, that's never how it was supposed to be instituted. And that's why I am pro getting rid of birthright citizenship. Because there's really no need for that. For one, we already have too many Americans. All right. There's too many people in this country, undocumented and documented. It should be a lot harder to become an American. How you go about that process? Well, I'm not here to tell you that. All right. I'm not a politician. All I'm saying is that you coming to America does not make you American. Unless you uphold the values and have an affinity for the American people. And even then, like, if you are not actively contributing to this society, I still really do not think you're American. Like, you have to have generations in this country. My family has generations in this country. That's why I can say I'm American. My family has been here for over a century. Over a century. I have two great grandfathers. Two of my great grandfathers fought in World War II. Okay? So no. I'm American. But we have a lot of people here that are not American. So, yeah, anyways, I got some more clips. Yeah, so I found this funny. So he says, racial supremacy is the root of all evil. Mind you, his profile picture is Malcolm X. I don't know if you can tell, but his profile picture is Malcolm X. He's a big Malcolm X fan, apparently. You know why he's a big Malcolm X fan? Because Malcolm X was Muslim. He was a black Muslim, which, get this, was killed by Muslims. Malcolm X was killed by Muslims. And he was a black supremacist. Okay, so your profile picture is of Malcolm X, who was a black supremacist and Muslim. And you say racial supremacy is the root of all evil. Give me a break. Genuinely give me a break. And what do you even define as racial supremacy? What, me? Having pride in my people? Having pride in the people that colonized the world? That brought order and helped Africa? Alright? That brought order to a land that was barren. You know, America was, it was thriving with resources, but there was no order. Like, am I not supposed to be proud of that? What do you define as racial supremacy? I think defining racial supremacy, I mean, you're just saying like, well, I just think, Germans are better than everyone else, which is, what Hitler said, which was funny because Hitler was not even German. But no, you say that and you think, oh yeah, people are gonna, like, I haven't heard this a million times. Like, yeah, liberals say this all the time. But you notice in this clip, he says, like, you look at the people in this clip. And he says,
Oh no! Fuck you! This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. Welcome to Mamdani's New York. You see this city? You see how it looks? Inshallah, your city looks just...
He says, you see this city, you see how it looks? Inshallah, your city will look like this. Am I missing something? Or is everyone in this video Middle Eastern? Racial supremacy? Well, hold on. I mean, I know you're saying everyone's going to be Muslim, but I mean, it looks to me like you're also saying that everyone is going to be Middle Eastern. And I'm sure you would be fine with that. Because you bitch and moan about white people all the time. Oh, white people. Oh, white people. Fuck you. Sneako, you're a fucking brown clown, bro. And you just leave country. Leave the country. If you hate America so much, oh, America, white people, inshallah. Move to Iran if you want to be with Muslims, okay? Get out of my country. I do not want you here. Fucking idiot, dude. And yeah, I found this funny. Let me bring the audio
Messi
on this.
is...
Bro, he's just...
Argentina
like...
won,
Now,
and
again, don't get me
Lionel
wrong.
Messi.
I think some of the calls towards Argentina have been questionable. But come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Argentina won, and Lionel Messi is the Benjamin Netanyahu of football. He is.
The
He's
Benjamin
a wall kisser.
Netanyahu of football.
They rig it. He has the referees on his side. They're scamming innocent people. They're genociding the people that are good. It's disgusting, and it's unjust.
Are you saying that winning a soccer match is genociding the people that are good? Oh, they won against Egypt. They're genociding the Egypt players. Oh, they won against Cabo Verde. They're genociding the Cabo Verde players. Oh, Allah, why do you give your toughest words the hardest battles? Oh, Allah, have favor on the Egyptians.
It's unfair, and he's not deserving of that top spot, just like Netanyahu doesn't deserve to be prime minister. And he's a wanted criminal around the world. He's committed war crimes. So Messi is the Netanyahu of football. Ronaldo's still the GOAT.
Look, bro. I don't even know where to start with this. Like, what am I listening to right now? Like, yes, I know Messi kissed the wall, bro. All right. A lot of celebrities have done that. You know why? Because there's a lot of Jewish influence. Just because someone kisses the wall doesn't mean that they support Israel or they support what's going on in Gaza. Like, you idiot. All right. Oh my goodness. You're such a crybaby. Oh, my football team didn't win. Messi's the Benjamin Netanyahu of football. If that's the best argument you have against Messi not being the GOAT, and trust me, dude, Ronaldo wouldn't like you. Okay, Ronaldo is Catholic. All right, he wouldn't like you, dude. You're a fan. All right, he doesn't even know you. He doesn't know who you are. Like, come on, bro. You're making a fool out of yourself, Sneako. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, Sneako. No, it's actually, it's not. It's not at all. It's hilarious to watch. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. I've never heard. That's like, that is the first time. You know, when you think you have heard it all, but then you hear someone say Messi is the Benjamin Netanyahu of football, and your whole claim is, well, Messi kissed the wall, so you know he's obviously supported by the Jews. Dude, I honestly think the Jews could not care who wins the World Cup. But that's just me, you know. I think they have bigger problems. And then, yeah.
That's why they need to spread all the propaganda.
And here we go. Here we got another clip.
That's why they need to spread all the propaganda, because it doesn't spread by the sword. In fact, colonization, look at Philippines, for example, forced conversions. Catholicism spread through forced conversion. That's true. In the Philippines, it was a product of colonization. Islam spreads through knowledge, through just people hearing the truth. And so to combat this, they have to push as much propaganda as they possibly can.
Yeah, and then they convert.
There you go.
That's why they need to spread all the propaganda.
Okay, so I mean, Sneako. So you say Catholicism spreads through forced conversion, through colonization. Islam spreads through knowledge. Okay. So when the Crusades were going on, and Islam was taking over Europe and the Middle East, you know, as they pushed into Spain and marched their way up through Spain, were they spreading their knowledge? Say, oh well, Allah is the key to your life, you know, or were they, you know, killing and raping European women, you know? Or what about when ISIS, you know, beheads Christians that won't detest their faith? Is that knowledge? Did they just not understand how great Allah is? That's why they had to be beheaded? Catholicism spreads through forced conversion. This is how I know you're fucking brown. Oh, colonization is so bad, bro. It's like, no, it's not. Okay, colonization was actually great. All right. We fixed societies. We lowered infant mortality rates. Okay. When Europeans were in Africa, that's when Africa had it the best. We built hospitals there. We stopped African women from having to have 10 babies just for 2 to survive. Okay? I know you're freaking brown and you think the white man is the root of all evil, but you're just stupid. You're stupid. All right? And look, I will die on this hill. If you cannot defend your country, all right, and this is how it was back in the day. Dude, the Chinese were explorers and colonizers. It wasn't just Europeans. If you cannot defend your country, it's our freaking country, all right? We took it. Cry and moan about it how much you want, all right? You should have been smarter. You should have been more intelligent. You should have been able to stop us. British Empire versus Native Americans. Who wins? British Empire. British Empire versus a bunch of Africans. British Empire. Like, come on, bro. Oh my goodness. You're done. It's over. All right, Sneako. It's over. You're an idiot. You're an idiot, Sneako. Do I have any more posts here? I'm sure we could find plenty of more posts. I mean, I'm really having fun doing this. This has been great. This has been great. Let's see. Been streaming for about an hour or so. We'll go to 11. Yeah, let's just see. Oh yeah. No, this
Open
is
up all this stuff. Hold on.
Get your Deport Sneako shirt at https://store/product/deport-sneako-t.
You notice how these race worshippers talk?
race. He instantly goes to race. Buddy, we're saying deport Sneako because you're trying to put Islam in every household. That's why we're saying deport you, you freaking idiot. Not because you're dang brown. All right? You're part Ashkenazi Jewish. I learned this today. You're part Jewish. All right? You're not going to come out and say that because you don't like Jews. And you don't like Israel. You're part Jewish. Oh, these race worshippers. Bro, it's a funny shirt. This is why Nick Fuentes is the dang GOAT, all right? Like, oh my goodness. You're such a crybaby. Instantly pulls the race card. You're like, bro, you're not, like, you're no different than black people, than Jews. Like, you all have the same thing. You all just instantly pull the race card. Oh, it's anti-Semitic. Oh, that's racist. Your race is against black people. Like, no, bro, it's not all about race. Like, race is a real thing, but holy crap, it's not all about race, bro. You're a professional victim. That's what you are. You're a professional victim. All of them. They all happen to just be professional victims. They just know, they have this common knowledge. You know? These race worshippers. Bro, maybe I wouldn't think brown people and black people aren't so dangerous if they would stop killing people. They would stop raping people. Well, maybe I wouldn't think Muslims are intended to rape British girls if they didn't, rape British girls. Why is a study of over 250,000 British girls that Rupert Lowe puts out, and like over 90% of the rape gang members were Muslim? I'm sorry, bro. It's just not the facts is not on your side, bro. It's not on your side. Hey, thank you to the person that is, talking in chats. I will, towards the end of the show, I'll go in and read all the chats and I'll respond all to the chats. You're the GOAT, bro. You're the GOAT. First person, I've been streaming for like over a month now. First person that's actually typed. GOAT. Flame of the West. Shout out to Flame of the West.
Talk about me more than Jesus, bro. Look how pathetic this is.
Dude,
like, imagine being
you're not tough with the soundboard, bro. A soundboard is not tough, bro. Fa!
Man walking around with a shirt that says deport Sneako. You guys talk about me more than the Pope. You guys claim to be Catholic, and you speak about me more than you speak about your own faith, your own theology. Why don't you wear a shirt that says Christ is King? Why don't you wear a shirt that says every knee will bow, every tongue confess? You're wearing a shirt with my name on it. You think that that's an own? Like, that's what their focus is on now, not freeing their...
Dude, how do you get rage baited so easily, bro? You gave this super chatter what he wanted. If I saw this if some super chatter said, deport Eagle Ace, you think I'm just gonna, for 2 minutes, sit here and cry? Oh, guys, you're not doing your religion. You're not doing your religion.
Country. Not saving it from Jewish supremacy. Deport Sneako for free speech. Like, what do you think that this is accomplishing? This is exactly what Laura Loomer Jigsaw is promoting. She would wear that shirt, you stupid idiot. All of these people have been completely compromised and subverted. Is that real? Is someone selling a Deport Sneako shirt?
Yes, Nick Fuentes is selling a Deport Sneako shirt.
Yeah?
I might buy one. I might buy one.
Oh, yeah, we're really going to own
Because
Sneako.
Deport Sneako shirt is hilarious.
Okay. Do you think that, like...
It's
oh, my
funny.
God, no.
It's
funny.
funny.
What am I going to do now? You really owned me wearing a shirt, paying for a shirt with my name on it, saying Deport... What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to do anything? Do you guys want to save your country or not? Do you want to save your birth rate or not?
We would be saving our country by deporting you. We would be. You're Muslim. Okay? We don't need Muslims in America. We would be saving our country by deporting you. All right? That's something the Chinese actually got right. Islam is banned in America. We would be saving our country by deporting you. Freaking clown. Like, bro.
Do you want to get rid of AIPAC or not? Do you want to fix any problems, or are you just a bunch of clowns? Are you a bunch of chucks?
It's not all just about the Jews, bro. I can be anti-Muslim and I can be anti-Jew, anti-Israel, anti-AIPAC. All right? I can be America first and not like you. So why does no one understand what nuance is? Okay? I don't have to love you and your religion and your culture. No, I don't. Okay? It's called taking my side. I'm taking my side. That's what you people do all the time. It's time for me to take my side.
Do you guys want anything changed? Dude, that's really funny. Like, can you imagine seeing somebody like that in public? You guys must be trolling. There's no way there's actually a Deport Sneako shirt. But can you imagine walking around in public with that? Seriously?
I could imagine.
And then someone's gonna ask you, why are you wearing this shirt? Yeah, well, he's like, it's hilarious because like Sneako needs to be deported because Elon Musk.
Alhamdulillah, you destroyed Snidey. Habibi, you're on the right side. Much love, Algeria. I guess, bro.
Elon Musk started this trend, right? He says he's communicating with Benjamin Netanyahu, or Netanyahu says this, frequently about the future of the world. Elon Musk calls to deport me, an African migrant. Wallahi, I will leave this country forever if Elon Musk can beat me in a debate. He wants to deport me. He never said he wanted to debate me.
Please, Elon Musk, please, if you are listening to me, Elon Musk, look, bro, please debate him. You're one of the most intelligent men on earth. You would fry him. Debate him, and so we can get him out of here. Bro. That would make my week.
I believe in American values.
No, you don't. Stop lying. You do not believe in American values.
I believe in free speech. I believe in
Right.
democracy. I believe in the exchange of ideas.
You believe in democracy. When has democracy ever been in Islam? I don't like democracy. I think democracy is not a good system. The people should not have all the say. All right, a lot of people are just freaking dumb. They're retarded. All right, you look at most Gen Zs. I'm Gen Z. Most Gen Z is freaking stupid. They have no idea what's going on in the world. I do not like democracy. This country was never meant to be a democracy. It was always meant to be a constitutional republic. All right, inspired by the Roman Republic, okay? All right, the only part of this country that was ever supposed to be voted on by the people was the House. Then representatives would vote for the president, and the president would elect justices. It was never supposed to be this thing of 350 million or so people all fighting to elect the president. You know, like, no. All right. And stop sitting here and lying to all these people and saying you believe in freedom of speech. You don't. You don't. If someone freaking says deport Sneako, you start freaking crying. You start crying. Oh. Why would you really think? Oh, you think that's funny? You think that's funny? Shut up. Shut up, bro.
He is. Just like I debated Steiny, just like I debated Alex Jones, Rabbi Mizrahi, all recently.
Yeah, you got freaking cooked by Alex Jones. Alex Jones was making fun of you, bro.
If Elon Musk can unanimously or even by majority decision beat me in a debate, I'll leave this country forever.
Bro, Elon Musk would be... Elon Musk debating you would be like me playing an infant in chess, bro. He would be all around you, bro. You wouldn't even know what's going on. Like, come on, bro. Like, you barely won a debate against Moist Critical. Moist Critical, is just not a good debater. I don't know why he puts himself in these situations. I like Moist Critical. You know, I think he's funny. But, you know, you barely won a debate against him. So, no. Yeah, this was the clip I was referring to. Well, we got some time. We might as well just watch it.
I'm not here to insult anyone. I have no personal vendetta against anybody. I'm not mad at anyone who's ever insulted me. I'm just a guy. And I'm just here to tell the version of the story as I lived it. I'm just here to tell the truth. That's it. I'm just going to tell you some facts. A few years ago, there was a streamer, I think everybody knows who I'm talking about, who was obsessed with me. If I got a girl's number on Fresh and Fit, he tried to do the same thing. Every single thing I did, he copied verbatim. He tried to be me, literally be me. He was obsessed with me. And I thought he just wanted to be famous, and that turned out to be a homosexual obsession. He came to Romania with two people who I respect very much, Myron and Fresh, great guys. They managed to convince me to allow him to come. He came there and started acting really fruity and really weird. He started telling me that he had this cuck thing that was exposed. He had this big cuck scandal, and he asked me what I think about cucking and if it's normal to explore your sexuality and if I've ever tried it. And I said, look,
it just gets better, doesn't it?
look, I'm older than you, bro, and I've never tried that. I don't think that's normal. And then he started saying, isn't it normal just to try new things? Don't you think it's normal to be curious? How do you know if you're really gay or not unless you've tried being gay? And then I realized he was coming on to me. And when I realized he was coming on to me, I thought the best thing I can do is just not talk to him anymore. Because I don't like this gossip girl stuff. I don't want to be a drama merchant like he is. My brand isn't sitting online and constantly insulting other people like his is. So I thought, let me just cut him off. He's obsessed with me. He's a bit weird. I don't want to ruin the guy's career. Let me just go his own separate way. Since then, he has mentioned me every single day in every single stream he does. Andrew Tate wore a gambling t-shirt. Andrew Tate drove a car. Andrew Tate drunk coffee. Andrew Tate this. Andrew Tate that. He is obsessed with me. And if you see the way he talks about me, you can see in his eyes. It's not because he is morally superior. It's not because he just wants clicks. It's a homosexual rage which is suppressed. Guys, I don't like saying this. I feel uncomfortable making this video. I wanted all of this to go away. I just said, no, I'm not gonna fuck you, bro. Get out of here. I just tried to ignore the kid for 5 fucking years. Here we are 5 years later. He won't stop talking about me. And if you watch him do it, guys, watch him do it and look in his eyes while he does it. It is a suppressed homosexual rage. He is enraged. Now he's Muslim LARPing. He's Islam LARPing. Constantly LARPing about Islam while being gay in private and taking drugs in private. As opposed to...
Yeah, no, I tell you, I honestly think this whole thing with Sneako is all just performative. I think he's performative. I do not think he has read his entire Quran. I do not really think... all it was... He got big online, and he wanted to add something to his content, and he said, "Oh, let me be Muslim. Let me be Muslim. Alhamdulillah." It's all performative. I really do not think he's really out there like that. If he was truly Muslim, he wouldn't be sit here bitching and moaning about his Deport Sneako t-shirt. He would probably be trying to spread Islam in America, which I'm opposed to. But I really don't think you'd still be doing social media. You know, sitting here, live streaming, carrying on about what people say about you.
Me, who keeps my faith private and my internet. He keeps his faith on the internet, and in his private life is completely haram. So we can discuss which one of us is the real Muslim if we want to have that conversation. But I live in an Islamic country. I live in Dubai. He lives in New York. You know, he walks around during Pride Month in New York. Guys, I really didn't want to do this video, but it's all coming to light. I woke up this morning with a few text messages from people who know very well saying, is it true that this person does these things? And I'm like, oh, so this is about to blow up all over the internet. I said a long time ago to Sneako once on one of my emergency meetings, I said, don't come at me, bro, because I could have ruined your career and I didn't. I am the nicest man. If he had this kind of information on anyone else, he'd post the screenshots, he'd sit there like a little girl, he'd do a full breakdown, he'd talk about it for years. I'm the top G, because that's who he is. I've known he's gay forever, and I didn't care. He came on to me, it was weird. It's gonna come out what he's really been up to. You're gonna see he's not a pinnacle of Islam, he's not a pinnacle of morality, he's very far from it. And that's why I had to stop talking to the guy. So I'm making this video now just to make it clear that I rejected him. I said no. That's why he won't stop talking about me. That's why you can see in his eyes.
So, there you go. Oh yeah. There's my post. There's my post. Yep, Malcolm X. I mean, like, I guess, bro.
Law in America. Name one.
My God, they have.
Name one
they
imam.
City councils
What?
have,
Name
have,
one. Where you see in America, the imams are trying to spread Sharia law in America. Name
My
one.
God, they have.
Name one imam.
City councils
What?
have,
Name
have
one
votes
imam
on.
who's trying to bring Sharia law in America. Where?
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Name
I'm
one.
live on your.
Tell me. You said you know
Anybody can type
20,000.
in Imams call for Sharia law in America.
You said you know 20,000. Can you tell me an imam who wants to bring Sharia law in America, please?
Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Okay, you just want to just be stupid now because you don't have an answer?
No, I mean, my God.
Where are you seeing in America?
Again, bro, it's like, it's a part of your religion. I don't know why they wouldn't want to bring Sharia law to America. The Matrix has attacked me. Dude, you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. You could have avoided this. You could have just, you know, been like everyone else and not make a fool of yourself. You made a fool of yourself, and now everyone is attacking you for it because you're a freaking idiot that wants to put Islam in every single household in America. No. All right, you did this to yourself. The Matrix is not attacking you. If the Matrix is anti-Muslim, well, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, like, geez, just because people are attacking you does not mean the Matrix is attacking you. Holy crap. Go back to Africa. This is my country. It's not your country, bro. It's not your country. Your parents, like, you don't have generations in this country, dude. It's not your country. You do not have affinity for Americans. You do not have affinity for white people. You do not have affinity for our values. Yo! Flame of the West, hold on. $2. Look, bro, I should have told you. Hold on, bro. Yo, you're bro. Hold on, he said, glad to send you a couple bucks for kicking ass in the stream. You have a talent. Keep on moving forward. The viewers will come because you are worth listening to. Thank you, bro. I love you, bro. You're amazing. You're goated. I really appreciate the support. That's awesome, bro. Hey, bro. Thank you so much for the support, bro. I was going to say, if you go to Ko-Fi.com, of course, now that you already donated, but if you go to Ko-Fi.com, you can type a message, and it'll be like talk to speech, and it will appear on stream and everyone will see it. But hey, bro, thank you for that, dude. You're the GOAT, bro. I love you, bro. I love you. That's amazing, bro. I'm gonna read it. It's 10:30 now. I think we'll do this for about 15 more minutes, and then I'll read all your messages that you've been sending throughout the day. Well, the stream. Thank you. Go back to Africa. This is my country. Ah, jeez. Let's see here.
Times Square is that, they're coming to assert dominance. They're going to show their culture.
Look, yeah.
The display of foreigners is
Memorial Day weekend, he goes on stream and he goes,
Well, let's see what Nick has to say.
you know,
Oh wait, James Fishback. All right, we'll see. We'll watch this Nick clip and then we'll watch James
Nick
Fishback.
Fuentes needs to be more of a unifier. The way he treats people's really inconsistent. He trashes Candace, then he wants to do a stream. This guy needs to do this and... So I saw that clip and I was like, you know what? No big deal. That's kind of like my new motto. It's like, don't get tilted, don't get mad. No big deal, right? I'm like, whatever. I'm on a clip from his stream. He goes, let's look at all the different Israel critical streamers. Who's going to unify the anti-Israel movement? Nick Fuentes, 10%. Dan Bilzerian, 35%. Me, 35%. I'm like, okay. You know what?
Yeah, I mean, he's just sucking he's ritually sucking himself off. Sneako is. And Dan Bilzerian is this Jew that is obsessed with Jews. He's like, oh, you know, he's like, bro, if you don't talk about Israel all the time, you know, Dan Bilzerian's a freaking cornball, bro. It's like,
fuck Sneako. Fuck you. I have had it up to here with Sneako. I have been tolerant. I have been far too nice. I have been taken for a sucker. You don't want my friendship? You don't want me as a friend? Let's see how you like me as an enemy. Okay, pal? I go out to New York. He doesn't want to do the collab. Then he takes a 30-minute call from Dan Kazarian shitting on me. He says, I'm sorry, that was the wrong thing to do. I say, okay, I'll let it slide. I still like the guy. And then it's just an unrelenting stream of sneak dissing. It's almost like it's in the name, sneak dissing me. He's not a unifier. He treats people badly. He's not going to unify the movement. It's going to be this loudmouth fucking manlet Jew that's going to lead the movement. Oh, okay. That's the way it's going to be? Iceman used to be a nice man. Now it's on site. You don't want me as a friend? You don't want to collab? Oh, I'm just all about the drama? You know what? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. You don't want me as a friend? Let's see how you like the Groypers as enemies then. And if you see Sneako in New York, I want you to tell him on my behalf, tell him, fuck you, fucking brown clown. It's over. Forget it. That's insane. I think I was nothing but nice. Think about it.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyways, we got Fishback.
You think that's Sneako?
Ooh, that's a bit loud. Let's turn that down a bit.
should be deported?
I think there is no place for the kind of weird calls to Islamify the United States that Sneako's called for. I don't think that that is well received or well respected here. It's not a reflection of our society. And if he wants to do that, he should go back to the Middle East and call for it there.
He's kind of making Muslims look bad. Like, he's kind of making Muslims look more extreme than they are. I think most Muslims are good people, but he...
All right, the interviewer guy, he's trying... Dude, it's okay. You can be edgy. All right, bro. Look, Fishback is smiling at you. He's laughing at you. He's like, Fishback is smiling at you, bro. Come on, bro.
He's kind of making them look like they're a little bit like cuckoo, you know, that they want to take over America, stuff like that.
They want to. They've done that. They want to do that in every single country. They repeatedly talk about it. Listen to Muslim leaders. All right. They want to. That's their goal. They want every single person to worship Muhammad and Allah.
The Muslims that I have met on the campaign trail, they respect that this is a Christian nation. They recognize the truth. Our founding fathers were not Muslim. They were not Jewish. They were not Hindu. They were largely Christian. And so if I went to Saudi Arabia and moved there, I never would. But if I moved there, I wouldn't pretend it was a Christian nation.
Right.
And I don't see Muslims pretending that this is a...
Exactly. And like, this is the whole problem with immigrants that come to Western civilizations. And I've talked about this repeatedly. Look, I would have a lot more tolerance for immigrants and immigration if they would just come and accept us, accept America. Stop trying to make America like Saudi Arabia. Stop trying to make America like Israel. Stop trying to make America like China or wherever you come from. Make America America. When you come to America, you accept our history. You learn our language. If I were to move to any country, and if I were to move to a country, it'd probably be Poland. You know what I would do? I would learn the history of Poland. I would get to understand the Polish people. I would learn the Polish language, and I would try everything I could in my power to be accepted as a Poland citizen. I wouldn't sit here and cry and moan, oh, there's too many Polish people. I just want to see more. I just want to see more Americans here. You know? But that's what they do. That's what almost every immigrant that comes to Western civilizations do. They always come here and they complain about how there's too many people of the country that they moved to. Why the heck did you move to this country? I'll tell you why you moved to this country. You moved to this country to take advantage of the native people. You moved to this country to take advantage of the generous welfare state that a lot of Western countries have. All right? You came here to take advantage of our programs to give your family a better life and do not care about whatsoever about the native people here. That's why you moved to America. You didn't move to America to become America, to become American. You moved to America to make America your version of America. Do you think America would be the same America if it was majority non-white people? No, it wouldn't. America's barely the same America, was barely the same America with different types of white people. It was one way when it was mostly English people. It was another way when it was a bunch of Italians and Germans and Russians. So, no, America wouldn't be the same way with a bunch of non-white people. That's why I'm not saying that America cannot have non-white people. I'm saying America has to still hold its racial identity to contain its intrinsic character. That's why it has to be this way. If you want to live in a country where people look like you, then move to a country where people look like you. Don't come to my country and say, I don't like how the people look here. You're just a fucking racist. You just hate our people. Piss off. Leave. Go home. You damn brown clown.
Muslim nation.
Facts.
But when Sneako goes out there and says America will be Islamified, I don't even think most Muslims agree with that. But he, again, is trying to call attention to himself, and it's good to see people, like, call him out.
Yeah. we're done with Sneako. I've given this clown enough attention anyways. So we're gonna go back to the chats. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but yeah, we're gonna talk about these chats. I don't know if I can. All right, so it cuts off there. So I already read. I'll pull it up on my end. I can see. So he says, Flame of the West says, Muslims worship a pedo and want to force the rest of the world to worship the same piece of shit. No thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they do, and they always will, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to say no. You got to get rid of them. There is no spot for them in our country. As a former Jehovah's Witness that can't stand that religion and wouldn't be fine with it, and would be fine with it being banned, I want Islam banned a million times more than that cult. Witnesses at least aren't violent. Yeah, and witnesses are by and large silent. They don't like I know witnesses have this thing of they go around and try and convert people to Jehovah's Witnesses, but they don't get together and have this big call to prayer, and they don't try to take political power and institute witness teachings or propel Jehovah's Witnesses into our government. That's what Muslims do. Islam does not coexist. It only destroys, conquers, and forces all to submit to it. Islam means submission. It does. And we've seen that through all of human history. And, I mean, you obviously seem like a very knowledgeable person. But again, like this stream is largely intended for the people that are ignorant of Islam and how they behave and how these Muslims behave. Like, I know Fishback was saying that and was saying that he doesn't believe that all Muslims probably think that. I would have to disagree. Because if you look in that clip, it's a bunch of young or, middle-aged Muslims, and they're all hooting and hollering, and they're like, yeah, inshallah, Islam will be everywhere. No. I do think that. But I know Fishback's probably saying that because he's a politician. As much as I like Fishback, he's a politician at the end of the day. And, politicians gotta say what they gotta say. They don't get the privileges of people like me or Alex Jones or Steven Crowder or Nick Fuentes. We're not running for office, Dearborn is way higher actually per capita. Yeah, see, when I said that, I don't think I wasn't going off per capita, but I did a deep research today, and I think my research pointed me to New York, but a religion that does not believe in the freedom for others deserves no space in America. Islam is inherently incompatible with the Constitution because it does not allow separation of church and state. Yeah, that's true. And the Founding Fathers would completely agree with you. As much as the Founding Fathers were all Christian, they did not want church and state to be together. And that doesn't mean that, you cannot be a practicing Christian and have political power. It just means like it shouldn't be a theocratic government where they institute, they force religion, Christianity, or whatever religion that may be, onto the people. But we see this happen in every single Islamic religion. Every single Islamic country. So yeah. Christianity, it says, Christianity has always said in the New Testament, look, we're telling you the way, we're telling you the light, we're telling you who's the beginning and the end. We're telling you, how you should live your life, but we're not going to force you to convert to Christianity. You have the choice to not believe in Christ or not. And if you choose that, well, look, it's you choose to live apart from God. Well, God's going to make that decision for you once you die. Christianity allows you to live apart from God your entire life. It's just saying, well, you're fine to live that way. We want you to not live that way because we care about you and we love you, and we want you to, know God and be one with God. But if you choose to live that way, then we're not going to stop you. Let's see. Remember, the same is true if we don't protect Europe and America. If we don't protect them from Islam, then it will be their countries. That's why it's important you speak out on their aggression. Yeah, exactly. No, that's true. And I mean, we've already seen that by and large in those countries. And yeah, it is important that we speak out. And we really just like the biggest thing is that the young generation, the people that are going to grow up and are going to be the future leaders of our countries, of Europe, of America, have to stop being a bunch of little pussies. They have to be okay with saying the uncomfortable thing. Okay with saying, no, we actually don't want your people here. We don't want your religion here. Your religion is not compatible with our country. Someone please explain to me how having a group of people that think fucking goats is okay and putting bags over a woman's head. Imagine being so insecure around women you can't tolerate their face. Exactly. That's always their excuse. You know why women have to wear all this, stuff in Islam? It's because they say, oh, well, we're not responsible for rape if you show a little skin. What? No, that's called not having self-control, buddy. It doesn't matter how much skin a woman shows. It doesn't matter if she's dang naked or if she's a prostitute or whatever. All right? If you rape her, you're still guilty of rape, and that means you're guilt, and that means you should get the death penalty. So no. Muslims always want to make up excuses and not just be held liable for their actions. Islam is a religion tilted inherently to men. It tries to make excuses for men, but it doesn't view women as equal whatsoever. I view women as equal. I just understand that there are natural roles for women. And so women should not be put in places that go against their natural roles. Women were never meant to be leaders or have political power. Women are meant to be caretakers. That's why women are more emotional. That's why women are also usually when communists try and get communism to get going in a country, they go to women first because they'll say, well, look at these underprivileged people, and then look at these poor people, and this is what we can do to help them. And the woman's automatically gonna be like, yeah, they don't deserve that. I want to help those people. So yeah. And again, he said, we already read that message, and then he said, after he said, notice how it's only white pioneers that were willing to settle a land that was almost all wilderness without stores or hospitals. White were the only people willing to rough it and develop America. Yes, that's true. Whether it be Spanish, French, British, it was all Europeans. It was all Europeans that brought order and society to the wilderness. All right. Like the natives were pagan. They worshiped pagan idols. I mean, I saw this story of, I remember it's an anecdote about like Christopher Columbus. And he's using his knowledge of like how astrology, and he knows that there's going to be a solar eclipse soon, and he says, look, if you do not help my people, my God will cause the moon to cover their sun in this day's time. And he gets it right. And then the natives give up, their crops and whatever. You know, and that's deceptive, but it's like, you know, that's just Europe. We were more advanced, and we took and we helped these people. All right, we didn't just grab up all the resources. A lot of people want to say, "Oh, they took all of our stuff." No, we didn't. We actually helped you a lot. We spent a lot. All right, colonization was an investment. They made colonies. Sure, they wanted to make the empire richer, but they took a risk. They had to take a risk of the people rising up against them. And well, you saw that with America. But they took risk. And, you know, I've been reading the Founding Fathers, and it was inherently clear that they did not want to have to rise up against Britain. But it was Britain's hubris and Britain's arrogance that said, well, we have no other option. We are just as British as the people that live in Britain, and yet we're not being treated like British citizens. And that's why they rose up. So yeah. Anyways, it's almost 11 p.m. I don't know if we got any more chats. I think we're gonna call it a night. It's been a good stream. Been a good stream. I hope everyone has a good night. Be safe. Remember, you can find me on YouTube at Real Eagle Ace. You can find me on Rumble at The Eagle Ace, at X at Real Eagle Ace, and on Insta at Eagle_Ace2. I will see you next Saturday. I might be doing live streams more. I've been thinking about it more often. I just got to figure out, you know, what are we gonna do on those days. If I do, it would probably be a Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we'd be moving to like 3 live streams a week. Some other announcements, like I scrapped the dispensationalism video. I didn't like it. Like, not that, you know, not that I like dispensationalism. I think dispensationalism is a complete misinterpretation of the Bible. It's just, it sounded too scripted to me. Like, I want my videos to sound like how I'm talking now. You know. But it sounded too scripted to me, and, you know, I'd had it on the backlog for multiple weeks now, and I was like, well, it's just like, I'm not gonna release it. So yeah. But this will be posted on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing if you coming in here late. But it's been a joy. Glad y'all been here, and I will see you next Saturday, or hopefully sooner than. But until then, good night. Peace be with you all. God bless you all.